The lonely old teapot. What's up, everybody? Eric here from Tea and Tobacco. Today I'm going to go over how to brew tea using a teapot and some things you want to look for when purchasing your first one. So teapots come in all shapes, sizes, and materials. So here are a few things to look for when you are picking out your first teapot. I have a few examples of teapots that I have, but really the only one I use is this stainless steel teapot. It's cheap. You can get it for like 20 bucks on Amazon. I'll toss a link in the description so you can find out where it is. And because it's stainless, it's durable, and you can clean it easily because, well, it's stainless steel. You can just toss it in the dishwasher if you want, and not a big problem. This cast iron teapot, cast iron can be a pain because it can rust, especially if you leave tea in it over, say, a weekend, like you're using it at work and you accidentally forget to clean out your teapot before you leave for the weekend, and then you come back in on Monday, and this is a nice teapot of rust. And then you have clay, which obviously is not as durable as can be seen from having to glue the handle back onto the lid. So there's that. Obviously you can get glass, same problem with the clay. It's not nearly as durable, and other ceramics and other materials. So those are a few of the materials, but the reason I chose a stainless steel is because of all those reasons I mentioned. Another thing you want to look for is how are you going to be brewing the tea? And a lot of teapots come with nice tea baskets. So this particular pot has a nice tall and wide tea basket. So you can pretty much brew anything in this particular teapot. The problem with this cast iron teapot is because it's so squat, the tea basket is super short. So it's not gonna allow enough room for most teas to expand properly in a basket this small. And the diameter wise, it's a lot smaller. I mean, this thing can fit right into the tea basket of the stainless steel one. So that's another thing to look for as well. This clay pot doesn't even come with a tea basket. It has holes up near the spout to filter out the tea, but really that's no good, because one thing you want to be sure of is that you can remove the leaves from the pot when you are at your correct brew time and all that stuff. Unlike this one, the leaves would just sit there stewing the whole time because you can't remove them. Whereas when you are done with your time, you can just take the basket out and then you have your pot of tea ready to go and you're not over brewing the leaves that are in there. So those are just a few things to look for when you are picking up your first teapot. All right, so now that we've picked out our teapot, I'm going to be using my stainless steel teapot. Here I have is actually a tea warmer. The little platform comes off and you actually light a tea candle and put that down in the bottom. Go figure, tea candles are for keeping teapots warm. And then you can just stick your teapot on there. So brewing in a teapot is relatively easy. You just put your tea in the basket and then pour the water in. So I have 10 grams of black tea here. So this is a 1 liter teapot, so to 10 grams. So it's 1 gram per 100 milliliters, or it's 2.5 grams per cup, or 8 ounces. So this is roughly 33 ounces. So that's why I'm using 10 grams. So I'm gonna pour it into the basket. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my water and I'm going to pour it all over the leaves that are in the bottom of the basket. And I'm just going to basically rinse them off. So I'm going to pour it out here. Obviously, if you're near a sink, that's much easier. I just have my tea tray over here so I can just pour it out. So just to give them a nice rinse, to get any of the very small particles that are going to make their way through the tea basket. And then from there, easy enough, just fill it up. So for this particular tea, I've brewed this a few times. This is a black tea. I'm using 200 degree, 205 water, just shy of boiling, and I'm going to let this steep for 2 to 3 minutes. So now this has been steeping for about 3 minutes now, so I'm going to be taking the leaves out. Some of these teapots do get a little hot, so one thing you can do is kind of prop the pieces off to the side. So here I've propped the lid up just a little bit just to get some of the heat off of it so I can handle it. Same thing with the basket. They also get pretty hot, so you can take it up and just kind of tip it to the side so it stays up on the rim, just enough to cool it down around the rim so you can handle it. And just take out the leaves, set them aside, and you're pretty much good to go. That's really all it takes to brew tea in a teapot. These leaves you may be able to steep again depending on the type of tea you use, but usually not, because the amount of leaves we're using for the amount of water, it's extracting quite a lot. So there is going to be some flavor differences if you are brewing Western style like this or doing Gung Fu style, where you're going to do a lot of short steepings with a lot more leaf compared to the amount of water. Probably in the end, I would use roughly about the same amount of water to the same amount of leaves, just over an extended period of time, so you get those different flavors per steeping. But this is a good way if you want to make a lot of tea at once. I'll do this like if I'm going somewhere and I just want to take some tea with me to go. I'll brew my teapot here. I have a 36 ounce, double-walled stainless steel thermos that I'll then pour this into. So really, that's all it takes to brew loose leaf tea in a teapot. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe, comments and questions and feedback down below, and I will see you next time on Tea and Tobacco. See you guys. That's good.